Hello, beautiful Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. A question popped into my head before I turned on the video, and I want to ask you, what would you like to receive this month? This is going to be your reading for the next 4 weeks, and I would like you to focus on that energy because I feel there's like a potent air coming forth, and whatever you speak about, whatever you think about, it is about to come into your life. So let's start out the reading by focusing on those things, okay? If it's not that personal, you can just comment down below and share and spread the energy. And if you go on to enjoy this one, go ahead, hit the thumbs up and hit subscribe to see more of these kinds of videos, okay? I see here an owl, a good advice from a wise person. Owl can also represent this person is someone who has a very heightened intuition. We have a rainbow here. The most difficult part of a situation is over. So I feel like that's also another sign. Your desires are going to start aligning with you coming forth. Hills, obstacles to overcome. And I feel like the bird flying is you actually becoming the bird and flying over those hills on the background. Okay, so something might be showing up in a way that is inaccessible, unreachable to you at this time. However, the more you focus on the things you want to attract into your life, it is going to bring the news that will allow you to fly over them. Another thing that I have about you, Sagittarius, I interpret you as a dragon, like all the fire signs, they have an animal. Aries is a ram, Leo is a lion, and I interpret Sagittarius as, even though you're the archer, which actually straight directly goes to the final outcome, you are the dragon. Okay, you are very powerful and fiery. You create your own fire. This can help you build things, also destruct things. So that's why I feel like you're going to overcome the hills by flying over them. And while you are doing that, you might tend to have used your fire. So yeah, use it for sure. However, make sure that you're using in a constructive way rather than a destructive way. We have a teapot here with deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So it can be, again, during a conversation, you might actually come up with a creative solution. A crown, honor, and respect will come to you, which with that, you're going to actually get some attacks as well because we have a two-faced friend. So maybe you are so magnetic, so amazing, creating amazing stuff, or maybe even getting promoted, but there's going to be someone there not really enjoying that very much, okay? We have a person here. Pay attention to your finances within the next 4 weeks. This is a good sign. This can be also when you pay more attention to them, you might also get the chance to improve them. I see there's someone standing out here within the 4th week. There's a tears of joy. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them already. So someone outside your comfort zone might be bringing a chunk of money, just fell here. And the thing is, I don't know if you ever heard of the quantum physics, that everything exists in the here and now in a different dimension, that we pull them from the past or the future and the present to the present. So this person is in the future, but the chunk of money that they're bringing is actually falling into the now, like within the 1st week. So this can be a future plan is paying off now, or maybe you are getting paid for something that you're going to do in the future, like getting an advance. That can be representing of that. This is the general reading, by the way. I'm going to do the money and success reading later this week, so you can keep up with that if you subscribe. There's a tears of joy also coming in the 1st week here too, okay? I see in your heart space, there's a conversation happening. I feel like that conversation is going to lead to this tears of joy. The conversation is taking place in your heart space. There's a triangle there. It can be in your home. Maybe you're talking to someone, and the dragon is right here again. So if you feel the dragon energy, if you feel that inside of you, you need to utilize it because it is calling you. It's calling you to utilize it, and it's gonna be also like effective in problem solving in your life. Another thing I see here is there's a rain. You can see rain or cloud or snow falling here from the sky. And instead of maybe seeing that as, okay, it's a gloomy day, which I have been going through for a couple of weeks now, instead of seeing it as this is a gloomy time, it's a bad time, maybe it's time to start seeing it as a blessing is there for you to just put a little cup down to collect that rainwater. The rainwater can be in the literal sense if you are in like this kind of a place right now, like a tropical place, or maybe in like the climate is in like a rainy. This can also be, I see sword here. Maybe there are a lot of communications happening and honor, respect will come to you. So it's time to use that honor and respect your name. Maybe it can be the knowledge that you have, the information that you're carrying in your mind. It's time to just pull it up, or it can be like writing a letter, because I see there are a lot of words here. Those are going to be useful for you, okay? Maybe the paperwork coming in, if you're experiencing such a thing. Using those words, collecting the information about those things are going to be important. Another thing here is, for some of you, I feel a relationship situation happening too. And there maybe you want to talk a lot, or you want to communicate and express yourself a lot. That's why you have a lot of like words in your mind. And I see there's someone here standing and blocking, and you can see like an angry face here. Maybe they don't want to hear where you're coming from. The thing is that there's another person here raising their finger up. They want to hear you. Maybe you're trying to make a choice between two people, light and the dark. Okay, it's the energy of these two, and one of them wants to listen to you, the other one wants to shut you down, and that's going to be your sign to choose from. Okay, whichever one actually makes you feel better. It's time to, maybe if you're having a hard time to choose because maybe you have emotional connection with an aggressive one, it's time to choose the lighter energies. I see a letter S here and right next to the aggressive one, and there's an arrow pointing out to them. So somebody, the S can be in someone's name that is actually pointing you out, to this person pointing out. They're saying that this is not the good option. Okay, you need to look carefully. And there's also someone, I told you, like raising their finger and calling you, like maybe just telling you, okay, listen, let's talk. It's time to maybe pay more attention to the one that is really putting the effort in to the situation. I see number 3 here. There's a creative idea coming to you. Maybe if you're feeling, which Sagittarius, you don't really feel that kind of like intimidated to talk to someone. But I feel like this creative idea can be about not the communication, but the result like of your desires. Okay, how you're going to obtain those results. I see that you have an umbrella. You can see this is like some, like it looks like a reverse shape L, which is like a cover. It's above your head. Within the 3rd week especially, you might get like this kind of a head covering. Something is protecting you from the rain. Maybe you're getting wet under the rain of the situation, the circumstances initially within the first 2 weeks. But then when you choose the better option can be very simple, guys. I feel like it can show up as someone aggressive, someone passive, someone who doesn't know how to take care of things, compared to someone who is knowledgeable, who stands up for you, who just points their finger and like into the air. And that's also like, basically the magician right there can be a Gemini or a Virgo. Pay attention to those signs. And the points out their magic when on the sky, in the sky, and say, you know what, we have a solution, let's go with it. So it is going to be a better option for you to choose the one who is really there to support you. Another person I see here, there's a dog within the 3rd week. This is a separate person, someone loyal to you. You might receive some help, or you might receive some advice. Maybe even this person's showing up to protect your mental situation, okay? Maybe mentally. Within the 4th week, I see a bag of money showing up here. This is above your head. This is something in your mind. Maybe this is something that you wanted to create. You wanted to first pay attention to your finances. So the bag of the money, this one is actually spilling out the money, but this one is upright and the money is actually like you allowed the opening of the bag a little bit to open. It's not really wide open. So I feel like there's something under your control. You need to pay attention to your finances by lifting, like closing that gap. Maybe you are bleeding from somewhere that you're not really aware of. This is about like lifting the bag up and realizing, okay, this is something that I don't use, never use. I shouldn't pay for that. I should cancel this. Or maybe there is a credit that you have. It has like a restructuring opportunity. Just go out there and find it and use it. Like you're tipping this tipped down the purse, you're lifting it back up here within the 4th week, okay? So, or maybe you're thinking how, but there's a way, it seems like here. I see a letter M. I see here kind of looks like F, maybe financing, mother. I mean, I don't know. It can be M is main, mother, loan, or mother something, main debt, maybe something like a refinancing happening here. I see here's a sickle. Sickle might be important maybe to collect the crops of something and investigate something else. It can be some representative of your harvest. Let's dive into your saucer now. If you have a specific question, a desire, and intention, hold it in your mind. A lot of things happening here, guys. A lot. There are 2 different desires. One of them is coming faster. The other one has some time. What happens here is your energy field is intact initially. I see here there's like a person who has a horseshoe around their head. Your second desire coming forth, yes, but it has some time, okay? It has some patience is required. There are 2, 3 tears of joy coming forth. I feel like the happier you are with your life, the more you're enjoying what you have, the more you're going to bring these things into your life. This kind of looks like a tuning fork or a horseshoe, or it's also like a protection over someone's head. Horseshoe we interpret usually as something that represents good luck, but another thing here, some people actually hang it above their doorway, which represents protection. Okay, because the horse had multiple uses in the past, not only for carriage, but also for defense, for the knights actually rode the horses. So this can be someone like a knight in shining armor. This can be you are the knight in shining armor right there, have the horseshoe above your head. And also like this is, you're creating that protection shield, which is bringing right away a victorious, a V moment for you. You protecting something. There is a woman right above that wearing a gown. It can even either invite over, this can be someone who is interested in maybe what you do, or can be someone who is supportive of you showing up when you first achieve one victory. It kind of sounds like maybe, when I'm victorious, someone shows up, but either way, this person might even hear you through that victory. Number 3 is creativity. You're expanding your creative work outside your comfort zone. I see 2 buildings side by side. I'm starting to think like tall 2 buildings side by side. This is a physical place maybe you're going to be going to and visiting. And another thing here, within the 3rd week, I see 2 snakes, 2 people, like they're on the floor, like coming towards each other and having a conversation. Snake can be, I want to interpret that in the relationship sense, because if I go with like a money sense, it can mean something negative. Relationship sense can be there are 2 people who are going through transformation, metamorphosis, shedding the old skin and becoming new, born anew, but with old experiences, are coming together to negotiate and talk about relationship. This can be, I see letter S here too, can be in their name, S and R, maybe Richard and Serena or Selena can be in their name. These 2 are coming together to discuss the new terms of an agreement. The agreement can be love, relationship. Okay, now this is going to be the structure of our marriage. Recently, actually, one of my girlfriends got married, and she she's almost 40, or maybe she's over 40, and she got married with someone who has a lot of experience in life, and he actually knew what he wanted, and she knew what she wanted as well. So they came together, and they have been through all kinds of trials and tribulations in life, and they came together and made an agreement that this is going to be the structure of our relationship. And it was they have a lot of fun together. On top of that, marriage is actually a contract, and they made that contract verbally and on paper as well before they decide to sign the paper. So I feel like this can be something like that happening. It can be about also negotiations, job negotiations, money negotiations, but some of you might be negotiating the terms of a relationship, and I feel there's mutual understanding here happening, which is love to see that. Those kind of things, those relationships, actually the ones that last longer, because you understand the structure of that relationship. When two people come together, they're both riding a carriage together to the future, okay? One cannot pull one way and the other cannot pull another way and try to go to one destination in the future, okay? So this is something solid. Can be also friendship, partnership, business partnership as well. That's why I feel like here, news on the way, and the crown and honor. This is going to also bring partnership, deep friendship, okay? Let's see what else we have. We're going to go past, present, future. This is the first week. Seems very well here. It seems like 10 of Cups is family environment. You're already maybe attending a wedding or bringing together the family. You have already done that, or you know how the structure works. You know what kind of a family that you want. That's why I felt like some sort of energy of creation of a partnership. Can be also like a working in an environment that feels like family, instead of working in an environment feels like a fridge, basically, because some companies do really feel like a fridge. You step into it, it is very cold and it is very mechanical, and it's like it's like a robotic, like a computer. You're working like inside of a computer, doing your part and just getting out of it type of energy. That's not what you're walking into. You're walking into something loving, stable, supportive. And also here, what's going to happen is when you go inside of it, you're going to come up with bright ideas. You're going to be able to express yourself. Your authenticity is going to be very important. Page of Swords is someone authentic, blunt, and also powerful. He has the power, he or she has the power to express themselves freely. When you step in that environment, this loving space, you're going to be able to really live in that moment, live your authenticity fully. What happens there is this is going to change some things within you. We have the Judgment card coming in the future, and the future doesn't have to be initially right away within the first week, but it is going to affect the future. When you live authentically, you're going to be able to forgive what happened in the past. Maybe in the past you have dealt with relationships that were not really serving you or bringing you down. Maybe competitive environment. Competition is sometimes good if it boosts creativity, but if it's toxic competition, then it just kills the desire to create something new, okay? And it seems like that's what happened to you, which you learned a lot from that. You learned a lot of things from that. Yes, exactly. And you mastered your work with that. However, this time, wow, 10 of Pentacles. Your future, this idea, this thought pattern, that protective wall doesn't belong into the future. That's why 10 of Pentacles has wealth, abundance, and also structure, legacy, creating a new legacy. It doesn't, that past energies that you're bringing doesn't belong there. That's why you're having a judgment moment and understanding, okay, now it's time for me to let go of those ideas, thoughts, and experiences, and take the lesson and move on and not carry the emotion to the future, okay? The second week we have 8 of Wands. Okay, some things are going to be moving really fast, but some things are actually tying you down, which is causing confusion. Let's see what those things are. In the past, something's accelerating really fast. Maybe you made a lot of progress in certain projects, and whatever the second week subjects here, initially, it's affecting, that fast movement is affecting your initiative. This can be about love. Okay, maybe You made a lot of progress with someone in the past, okay, in the relationship. And that changed you, that changed your life, that changed the way you're thinking, created positive change in your life. But now in this today's moment, you're feeling trapped in this relationship. This can be, yeah, because it's not really promising future, or maybe it's promising too much future and there's so much fun here. Maybe you don't want that, okay? Maybe you have, I felt this energy now. Maybe the commitment is something that limits you, because the person coming in, they came in fast, they offered stability, they want maybe even marriage, they want to celebrate with you, and that's something that limits you. Yeah, but there's the only way to unlock that confusion and bring clarity. Again, here we have the Page of Swords. You need to communicate. You need to tell this person what you desire and express it clearly without bending things, okay? So like bending the words or just trying to find, ways to not hurt someone, because Page of Swords is a blunt person, okay? That's what you need to embody. You need to clearly express what you want, because if you don't, you're confusing yourself in the future and you're confusing the other party as well, and you're limiting yourself and putting yourself in a box. I felt the energy of relationship here with the Two of Cups, maybe even a soulmate connection that you have formed with someone. However, this can be also friendship or partnership, okay? Partnership in the sense of maybe creating a business together, or maybe tending a garden together with someone. Maybe you don't want to plant turnip. You want to plant like flowers, but this person wants to plant turnip and carrots, okay? You need to express that. You need to create the boundaries in that sense, if that's what you want. Page of Pentacles. Oh, no, this is actually Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is new financial endeavor and 2 cups. Okay, so this is about, wow, 3 of cups in the future. So yeah, the goal in the third week is create structured relationship that you are stepping into it. It's a relationship with money, maybe with a business, maybe or investing in a new idea materialistically. And what happens is, like, you thought about this, you planned about this. In the present moment, this is suggesting that, okay, you planned it, but you need to focus on the equal exchange. Instead of like spending a lot of money onto something, a subject, if that's the case, you first need to see what you're giving, what you're receiving, like do things one step at a time. This can even be about don't show all your cards, because there's going to be a moment of decision coming that you need to trust what you're doing is working. Oh, there is also like you need to take a break to see, like smell the flowers basically. Yeah, and just create the stability. That's why I feel like this is, even though we have here 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, it's a love cards here. This third week is going to be about like a long-term financial security and structure. And you are developing an idea, but this idea may be not really paying right away. You put the energy in, you get the result back. You put the energy in, you get the result back. In the future, yes, there's a celebration happening here. There is a victory coming forward. And I feel like this is also about the third week. What you're doing is going to be affecting the future timelines. But also, while you are putting in energy, you need to be decisive. You cannot really get stuck in between 2 different decisions, or you cannot be in or out. It's like one foot in, the other foot out. You got to be fully inside of it. Trust that this is working. And do not burn yourself out. When there's a pause necessary, take that pause and see things optimistically. And that will finally bring the King of Pentacles status. That will finally bring the structure that you're aiming for. Okay, you're starting with 1 pentacle. Yes, he has 1 pentacle as well, but this time he's actually sitting on a throne, and that's where you're heading. Okay, this is turning out to be material reading mostly, but I feel like even the romantic relationships have a material aspect to it. Okay, the fourth week we have Ace of Wands. There's a new adventure idea also you have, which will bring in the present moment, you're the authority to make this thing happen. Even if you're trusting, you're thinking, maybe I can get help maybe from the divine through prayer. It seems like it's your mind helping you, your authority. Another thing with the Hierophant here is she is maybe a feminine female authority figure that you can ask for help about this new thing, this new adventure you want to execute. And this can be even a spiritual teacher that is teaching you, okay, wow. She's teaching you how to let go of the past and understand what the lesson was. Draw your boundaries strongly. If this is even a new business environment that you're stepping in and people are telling you, asking you, oh, can you do this for free? She's teaching you, no, you can't, because your energy needs to be exchanged. It needs to be an equal exchange, because what happens is then you can also have this, like, feel tired. The simplest thing can happen is when you don't get paid for what you're doing, you're losing energy and not really replacing it back, because money is an energy as well. And when you don't replace it, that can become exhaustion. Okay, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual exhaustion. Okay, so she's learning you how to draw the boundaries and also take the necessary action to make things happen, and feel in the future this will bring more compassion and understanding, that you will understand that you no matter how things actually play out, that was supposed to be the way to go. Even if you're feeling maybe a little stressful or angry about what you didn't do, you're gonna see that that's how it's supposed to work out. Okay, I see. Let's pull your oracles now. Let's see what they have to tell us. We have here 2 kittens. You must choose. Exactly. You need to choose yourself. 2 kittens here. This is actually a temporary choice. This is not really the choice that is going to be forever and permanent. In this moment, maybe you have multiple projects in your mind and you can go ahead and you do one of them in the future. But at this moment, your energy be focusing on one thing and one thing only. And when you focus on energy, you're going to actually get more energy out of that situation, out of that investment. And then you're going to be able to utilize and use it for other investments. This can be financial. This can be a business idea. This can be friendships. Okay, maybe you have multiple friendships that you're splitting yourself up into like 10 different people. But it seems like one of them might be needing you more than the others. And also, you might be needing one of them more than the others as well. So you need to invest in, at this time, 27th can be until the 27th of this month, that you need to focus that energy on one place. Okay, let's see your Archangel in the crystal, and then I'm going to pull one financial spiritual card. We have Archangel Thoriel. I'm a caretaker of the earth. I spend time in nature. This is an exact great advice for you to ground yourself. My connection with fairies is strong. I'm a good gardener. It's easy to open myself up to allow the light in. I unlock the secrets of my soul. I told you about the gardening. It just came out of nowhere. Maybe that's also something you need to consider. We have a brown agate here. Have you been spending time in nature? How does your garden grow? Whether you live in a small city apartment or on an expensive farm, you can always find a way to establish your roots in the earth and nature. Use the negative ions of the mountains, sea, or air for your overall well-being. Actually, I got 2 bamboos yesterday, those swirling ones. And right now, I don't really have a garden, but they're right beside me, and I feel like they're giving me positive energy. You can also do stuff like that to boost that energy a little bit, okay? Let's see your spiritual guidance right here. We have, wow, beautiful. The Hathors. I think this is like culture, ancient culture. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal, which I see the portal. I think I saw a portal in your cup as well. The portal's dimensions, we cross through them every second, every moment without realizing it. But this time around, I told you the Queen of Cups is like also the mother's energy, the nurture energy. So, or even a rebirth energy coming into your life. There's still some time for it, but you can use that divine mother's milk, and I feel like that's nurture, self-nurturing. You can start self-nurturing yourself so you can go through that portal to that higher dimension you want to live in faster and easier, okay? All right, beautifuls, that's all for today. Hope you enjoy your reading. If you do, I'm going to leave some more videos right here for you to enjoy, and I wish you a magical day. Bye. Hit the subscribe and join the family.